gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors and professionals, those who are listening, watching, I heartily, cordially welcome all of you. It's a very nice time, nice place, nice section that we are appreciating our Indian culture. It is really praiseworthy, admirable and appreciable. Today, now you are listening. Today's news, turning point, turning point in Indian history. On December 6, 1992, Ayodhya in Uttar Pradesh became the epicenter of one of the most contentious events in Indian history. The demolition of the Babri Masjid, the incident, had far-reaching implications, shaping the political, social and cultural landscape of the country. The masjid, a 16th century mosque built under the patronage of Mughal Emperor Babur, had long been at the center of a fierce dispute. A section of Hindus believed that the mosque stood on the birthplace of Lord Rama and claimed that it was constructed after demolishing a Hindu temple. This belief gained traction in the late 20th century, driven by a surge in religious and political mobilization. The dispute escalated in the 1980s when the Vishwa Hindu Parishad and other allied organizations launched a campaign to reclaim the site for the construction of a Rama temple. The BJP, under the leadership of figures like L.K. Advani, also adopted the Ram Janmabhoomi movement as a key political plank, further polarizing the issue. On the fateful day of December 6, 1992, a large gathering of car safeguards volunteers assembled in Ayodhya, despite assurance by political leaders and organizers that the rally would remain peaceful. The mob turned violent, overwhelming the security forces present. The crowd demolished the masjid, reducing it to rubble. Within hours, the act was captured live on television, sending shock waves across the nation and the world. The demolition triggered widespread communal violence, leading to riots in several parts of India that claimed thousands of lives. It also identified and intensified the communal divide, the long-lasting repercussions for India's secular fabric. You are listening news from the Tribune. Minister exhorts party leaders, workers to reach Panipat on December 9. Prime Minister to launch Bima Sati Yojana for empowering women. Haryana Social Justice and Empowerment Minister Kishan Bedi exhorted party workers and leaders to reach Panipat where Prime Minister Modi will launch the Bima Shakti Yojana to empower women. While addressing the party workers and leaders at a party's office in Ketal on Thursday, Bedi emphasized that the scheme would provide women with opportunities as insurance agents, enabling them to earn a stable income. He said the scheme was part of life insurance population. Under the Bima Sakhi Yojana, women working as insurance agents will receive a monthly income of rupees 7,000 along with additional commission based on their performance. This initiative opens a new path for women, especially those with class 10 or class plus 2 education, to contribute to their family income. He said the program would bring women from different areas, whether they were from rural areas, tribal or mountainous regions, into the insurance sector, helping them achieve self-reliance. We call it a historic step by PM Modi toward women empowerment. PM Modi had earlier launched the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao initiative from Panipat. Once again, he had chosen Panipat for launching another landmark program for women's empowerment. He added, while interacting with media persons, Bedi highlighted the state's achievements in agriculture. Haryana is the first state to offer MSP on 24 crore, ensure 72-hour payment and deliver 24 electricity to the farmers. Haryana is also leading in stubble management and water distribution. He said while comparing Haryana's efforts with neighboring Punjab. Congress fails to take timely decisions, Sutri Chaudhary says. Minister was at Karnataka to hold a meeting with party leaders, workers ahead of PM's visit on December 9. Sruti Chaudhary, Women and Child Development Minister, criticized the Congress for its failure to make timely decisions and address public welfare. If the Congress was on the right path, why would so many dedicated members who gave their lives to the party leave? It has cornered itself failed to take timely decisions and become entangled in internal conflicts. The party had moved far away from public welfare and focused solely on power. Congress has failed to strengthen its leaders and remain limited to father and son and Dipender Hooda, which has cost dearly. This is why the Congress is suffering whether at the center or in the state. said Chaudhary while responding to a question about the delay in appointing the Congress legislature party leader. She was at the party's office Karnataka on Thursday to hold a meeting of the party leaders and workers ahead of Prime Minister Narendra Modi visit a Panipat on December 9, where he will launch the Bima Sakhi Yojana, an initiative aimed at empowering women economically. When asked about the farmers' call to mass to Delhi, Chaudhary highlighted the government's commitment to farmers' welfare, saying farmers are the backbone of our state and country, which is primarily agrarian. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made several historic decisions for their welfare. Haryana is the first state to secure 24 crore MSP, ensuring that every grain is purchased. She also highlighted that the Haryana government had transferred rupees 60,000 crore directly into farmers' accounts, strengthening their financial security. Earlier, while addressing the party leaders and workers, Chaudhary exhorted them to participate in large numbers on December 9. During Panipat, this is a moment of pride for Haryana, as the Prime Minister has chosen the historic land of Panipat to launch this scheme. Women are very excited for the event as they see a festival of empowerment, she said. Recalling Prime Minister Modi's previous initiatives, she said, Prime Minister launched the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao campaign from Panipat, which significantly improved the state's gender ratio. The association with Haryana runs a deep and every visit leaves behind milestones that push the state forward. About the Bima Sakhi Yojana, he said, aimed at empowering women economically by involving them in the insurance sector. Chaudhary emphasized that the initiative reflected the government's commitment towards empowering women. Earlier, party working district president Grace Gupta and former mayor Bala Gupta, along with the party leaders, welcomed the minister at the party's office. We are listening news from the Tribune. Government should resolve farmers' demands. News from Sisa, Lapinder Singh Olak, president of Bharati Kisan Ekta, said instead of addressing farmers' demands, the government was creating a tension situation in the state which had led to anger among farmers. Olak mentioned that farmers were protesting since February 13, 2024 for their rights. Addressing the media on Thursday, Olak said, as per the decision of the Univ Kisan Morcha and Kisan Mazdoor Morcha, the farmers would proceed peacefully with their protest. Farmers University Sindalewa has already begun an identified indefinite hunger strike at the Kanoli border to press for their demands. All of emphasized that the farmers will march towards Delhi following the designated Shambhu Morcha route and avoid any alternative routes to minimize disruptions. He highlighted the government's previous actions such as barricading major routes and installing metal spikes around Sirsa and draining areas which cause significant inconvenience to the public. We want our protests to remain peaceful and not disrupt common citizens, but the government's measures have created unnecessary hardships in the past, that Olaki further warned that such barriers and roadblocks, if repeated, might again create travel issues for the public. Olak asked the government to resolve the farmers' issues through meaningful dialogues to avoid public suffering and economic losses caused by the prolonged protest. Adding weight to the farmers' demands, Olak referred to Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar's recent statement where he acknowledged the illegitimacy of the farmers' grievances and called on the government to address these promptly. The farmers are determined to fight for their rights through peaceful means, but all caution that the government's action should not provoke further agitation. He asked authorities to recognize the seriousness of the situation and act responsibly to ensure the mutually agreeable resolution. You are listening to this from the Tribune. We are hit by wildfires. पुष्पा नाम सुन के फ्लावर समझते क्या मैं फायर है मैं. That was one of the most memorable dialogue from Pushpa. The Rise, now the sequel of this Allu Arjun and Rashmika Mandana's terror titled Pushpa the Ruler has given us another one. Fire nahi wild fire hai. Talk about hotness to tempt the impact of this wildfire scene on the counters of Tri-City theatres too after the film released on Thursday. Tickets are just flying by. I like challenging norms. Mirzapur star Sweta Tripathi talks about her journey. Like many others, she once dreamed of being the heroine in Misty. She runs running through mustard fields, but Sweta Tripathi's career turned out readily different, and the Mirzapur actor who says she likes challenging norms will have to know otherly my personality type is of very well. I'm all of 5 feet, I don't fit your archetype of heroine. I like challenging those norms. The actor known for her roles with a difference in Masan and OTT shows, including Ye Kali Kali Aankhein. The actor who is in her 30s can pinpoint just when it all changed, when her thoughts catalyzed. It was in 2009 when she was working on her debut show, Kya Must है Life. I would travel to Balat from Bandra every day, and I had a cab driver, a very nice guy. One day when the car stopped at the red light, he looked outside and his gaze lingered there for more than usual. I turned to see what was happening. There was a movie poster with 3 women bikinis. In bikinis, I promised myself there and then that I never want to be this. Smita said the actor who is portrayed as the spunky Golu from Mirzapur has won her accolades, clarified that she doesn't have a problem with wearing a bikini or a swimsuit, but being displayed like that is something I would not like, she said. Equally, Sweta is happy that films and shows are new exploring the sexuality of women. These are the roles she has no column in choosing, be it the student infatuated with a teacher in Haram for the acid attack survivor in Kalapur, or the brilliant student turned gang woman in Mirzapur. The show that made her a household name. I love the fact there are films like Masan and Mirzapur, where the theme is about female and desire. It is important to have guys like Univ.Dr.RK or Devi because we belong to very progressive land and culture, and if we keep clipping our wings, then it will be very aspect and every sector. Her father was a bureaucrat and her mother a teacher growing up in the Andamans and Delhi. She said she dreamed of being the quintessential heroine made popular by Yash Rai the romances, but unfortunately, I have not done any of that. What I have done are films like Masan and Desh, which is about a girl who has alopecia. Everyone has a different purpose and you can get inspired by others, but you have to find your own purpose. I think I am chasing the joy of storytelling, stories that raise the bar of emotion, so that when people see my story or my character, they feel something because of that and mom. I want to be part of stories that move people or make them uncomfortable. News from the Tribune lifestyle Prince आ गया. Punjabi actor Prince Kalwan Singh, who will be seen in Panchi 2 and Punjabi आ गया, may call himself a director's actor. People think clean every little detail, but I don't always do that. For most of the first, I just show up, listen to the director, and let things unfold. As we discover the character, I focus on one film at a time. I'm not really likely every character needs a certain look, behavior, and sincerity. When it's run point fox, it's so much easier to maintain consistency that way. Punjabi cinema is witnessing a shift, one that balance commercial appeal with deep character-driven storytelling, and someone who embodies this evolution is Prince Kulwant Singh. Known for his versatility and sincerity, Prince has earned comparisons to some of the finest actors in Indian cinema, and it's not just because of his commitment to his craft, but also the way he blends humility with artistry. Prince's preparation for a role is simple and effective. I don't want to deep into the character psychology or beforehand, he admits. I don't plan, I go with a fresh mind and let the director guide me. He allows the character to evolve organically one step, trusting in the director's vision while contributing to the nuances of his role. This is why he calls himself a director's actor. His collaborative spirit is what helps bring a film's vision to life in the most authentic way possible. He admits that while he occasionally contributes ideas to set details like the choice of a tone sweeter or twelve sweater for a character he doesn't impose his vision. My secret also is that I focus on one film at a time. I am not leading. I feel every character needs a certain look, behavior, and sincerity, and when it's one point fox, it's so much easier to maintain consistency than he says. Asked about his signature roles and his reply is from his latest film. Sector 17 years from his character that sticks with you, he says, reflecting on the enduring impact of that role in Punjabi cinema. Prince's rise to prominence didn't follow a conventional path. Unlike many of his peers who had clear plan for entering the film industry, Prince's journey was marked by serendipity and raw talent. I didn't always know I wanted to be an actor in his years. I grew up in a family where education was the box. But when relatives came over and read magazines featuring movie stars, I got hooked on the idea of acting. One day I wanted to a picture of Tamil actors on a motorbike and said I want to be like him. His early exposure to theatre and the connections he made in the industry were crucial in shaping his career even as a leader. Prince would travel to Mumbai, spending a year at a time in the city. Soaking in the creative energy despite his success, Prince remains grounded. I began to know the procedure back when he reflects on his early days in the theatre and film, and that was the best thing. I was so ignorant, I just wrote plays, acted in dramas, and people liked it. His lack of formal training in writing and acting didn't hinder his progress. In fact, it allowed him to approach his work without the constraints of overthinking. I didn't over prepare or worry about the right way to do things, I just did them. This unassuming approach is something Prince attributes to his success. If I had everything, the fact that I didn't know allowed me to stay true to my instincts. One of the most profound insights Prince shared during the interviews is his philosophy on money and success. Money is just a byproduct, he asserts, as long as your body is working. You will earn, so my boss is doing good work itself, not the payback. Looking ahead, Prince has a packed slate of projects including Panchi 2 and Punjabi Aage Aao, a romantic comedy romance was tough for me at first, but it's getting easier. He admits signaling his willingness to explore new genres and keep going as an artist. Fadnavis begins third term as Maha-CM. Shinde Pawar take oath as his deputies. Sharad Pawar, who skip ceremony, cabinet expansion like next week. New Delhi, December 5, news from the Tribune News Service. Aditi Tandon, BJP legislature party leader Devendra Fadnavis on Thursday took the oath as the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, while leaders of the BJP-led Mahayuti Alliance Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar were sworn in as Deputy Chief Minister at a grand ceremony in South Mumbai's Azad Maidan. Fadnavis included the names of his mother and father while taking the oath. I, Devendra, Sarita, Ganga, Rao Fadnavis do swear in the name of God, said the 54-year-old. With thunderous applause as Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan administered him the oath of office and placed in the presence of PM Narendra Modi, senior NDA leaders and chief ministers of BJP ruled states. This is the third time as CM for Fadnavis and the sixth time as Deputy CM for Pawar after Fadnavis in the order. Shiv Sena and CP Pawar also included the name of their brothers while taking the oath. While Shinde took the oath as Eknath Gangubai Sambhaji Shinde, Pawar called himself Ajit Shantai Anantrao Pawar. The politically significant move by the CM and his deputies signaled solidarity with women who NDA leaders say voted generously in their favor, helping the minority alliance return to power with a massive or fifth majority. Fadnavis, Shinde and Pawar have repeatedly acknowledged the contribution of the Ladki Mahan scheme to their massive win in the assembly elections in which the Congress Shiv Sena Unity and NCP Sharad Chandra Pawar were returned routed. The inclusion of the names of mothers along with fathers in the middle names of the CM and his deputies is a strong message of equality and solidarity with women. That is commitment of the BJP and especially of PM Modi, said a senior BJP leader soon after the swearing in. The CM and his deputies drove to the Maharashtra Secretariat for the first cabinet meeting which recommended news from the Tribune, Jammu and Kashmir or Ladakh. Higher education is still a dream for specially able students in Delhi. Univ.Dr.RK 75 after excelling in her class plus 2 exams at Srinagar's Vivekanand School, the law government runs special school for children with disabilities. Jasmina Basir had hoped to pursue regular college education, however, due to her hearing and speech disability, she found herself at an industrial training institute. Instead, Jasmina's family was informed that college industry lacked sign language interpreters, leaving students like her without access to higher education. My sister is brilliant and wanted to pursue courses like a bachelor's in science or arts, said her sister Ashima Basir. I approached colleges in South Kashmir but none had specialized educators. Now Jasmina is learning computer at the Industrial Training Institute. Living ties curse for society. Women Commission Chief, News from Haryana. Renu Bhatia, Chairperson of Commission for Women at Palwal. At Palwal, December 5, Tribune News Service. Describing living relationship as a curse for society, State Commissioner for Women, Chairperson Renu Bhatia has said there is a need to inculcate traditional values among the young generation. During the hearing of women-related cases at the district headquarters, she said parents must understand the importance of old-age customs that were the pillars of a balanced society. Besides, parents, the education system should ensure that values were passed to the next generation in a manner that they did not become a victim of norms that were harmful for the society. She said, adding that the trend of living relationship was like a bloat and sufferers were mainly women. She said the system of marrying two daughters in the same family had also resulted in negative fallouts. Bhatia said no kind of attack would be allowed on the dignity and rights of women, as the Haryana Women Commission would not desist from taking a prompt action against any incident of victimization. Meanwhile, the Commissioner disposed of 12 cases in the meeting on Thursday. DSPs Mahinder Singh, Suresh Badana, Narendra Kumar, Naresh Kumar, one stop center in Sapna, Annu Rana, Alpana Mittal, along with the police station in charge concerned and the complainants were present in the meeting. Chief Secretary urged state employees to create ABHA News from Chandigarh December 5 Tribune Service. The Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission of the government aims to establish a robust digital health infrastructure in the country, connecting various stakeholders in the healthcare ecosystem through digital channels. A key component of the digital mission is the ABHA ID, a unique 14 digit number that links the health records of an individual. This initiative promotes the digitization of health care and offers several benefits, including a unique identity, centralized health record, seamless access to health care facilities, a professional registry, easy monitoring of health records, secure digital health records, and straightforward registration of personal health records. The Haryana Chief Secretary Vivek Joshi to be asked for the state government employees living in Chandigarh to create their ABHA ID by downloading the ABHA application from the Play Store or Apple Store or by visiting the website of ABDM. Now, portal profile appeals against order of HSPCB. News Tribune News Service Chandigarh December 5, the Department of Environment and Climate Change Haryana launched a portal http appeal.haryana.gov.in today as part of a good governance initiative of the state government. An official spokesperson said the portal shall facilitate the online filing of appeal against the orders of the Haryana State Pollution Control Board passed under the Water Prevention and Control of Pollution 1974 and Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1991. Lawyers, applicants and public will now have easy access to the cause list. Interim orders and final orders passed by the appellate authority. The website has been developed by the State Department of Information Technology, Electronics and Communication under the supervision of the appellate authority to boost the user experience. The mobile version of the website is also under the process and will be launched shortly. On the occasion to boost the user experience, the mobile version of the website is also under process and will be launched shortly. On the occasion, bringing the additional Chief Secretary cum Chairman of HSPCB appreciated the efforts by officials of the appellate authority and detached for launching the website for the public. We hope that the launch would help the affected parties who wanted to prefer appeal against the orders of the HSPCB and keep a track of the status of their appeal. The portal was launched in the presence of Justice Gupta, President Appellate Authority, Prabhjot Singh, Director General, Technical Education Board, and Sanjeev Budhyada, Senior Environmental Engineer, HSPCB. HC calls for cultural sensitivity while framing excise policies. Saurav Malik. Tribune News Service, Chandigarh December 5, raising a sobering call for policy makers. The Punjab and Haryana High Court had questioned the allowing all non-legal sales can lead to social decay and damage the cultural fabric or excessive drinking still remains socially unacceptable, emphasizing the need to strike the delicate balance between revenue generation and safeguarding societal values. The division bench also made it clear that the state was required to take its observation into account when drafting future excise policies. discussion came as the bench of Justice Sanjeev Prakash Sharma and Sanjay Bashish dismissed a petition challenging a clause prohibiting bars and pubs from operating beyond midnight in all districts except Gurugram and Faridabad. The bench asserted excessive drinking and nocturnal indulgences remain social taboos in the country, where cultural sensitivities demanded a more nuanced approach. We are unable to stop ourselves from making observations regarding allowing sale of liquor for the entire night, while the excise policy mentions of many of having noticed the social verification and social regeneration at the time of framing the policies. It cannot remain unnoticed that if the people are allowed to stay all night at bars and pubs, the social strain of Indian society is seriously hampered. Excess drinking and indulging in nightlife in Indian society. It is still a social taboo, it stated. It also made it clear that it may not be understood to discourage nightclubs, that the policy makers were required to take into consideration the Indian culture, the parentage percentage of literacy and mature understanding. They were also required to consider that mature understanding regarding repercussions of the accessibility remain a long-term goal. Referring to the inconsistencies across the states, the bench said some had imposed prohibition while most had stipulated time limits for liquor sales once a time limit is laid down. There should be no provision for granting extension of this time for the entire night by taking extra money. The balance has to be struck between the amount of revenue being earned, which is maintaining and nurturing the culture of the state. It is expected that the state shall make into consideration our observations while framing the future excise policy about said. The bench added that the petitioners had obtained a license under the district excise policy and were conducting their business in accordance with these terms. They could now challenge steps of the policy that did not suit them. The principle of take it or leave it has to be accepted and applied in contractual matters. Where a person wants to do liquor trade, he would have to accept the conditions as framed by the state. No one had stopped the petitioners from doing business at Gurugram if they found it to be more lucrative. Friends, you are listening to this from the Tribune, Haryana. State to put Arabi green wall project on fast track to create 1,400 kilometers buffer zone around Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Delhi. Pradeep Sharma, Tribune News Service, Chandigarh, December 5. The Arabi Green Wall project, an initiative of the Union Environment Ministry to create a 1,400 long and 5 km wide buffer zone around the county and drain in four states with a view to combating land degradation, and this certification is set to be put on fast track. Haryana government, in collaboration with the stakeholders, states of Rajasthan, Delhi and Gujarat, have ambitious plans to bolster environmental sustainability by speeding up the execution of the project. It would be modeled after Saudi Arabia's green initiatives. Health officials meet Aarti over ailing Palwal Civil Hospital. Right petitions dismissed, 75 stone crushers face closure in Yamunanagar. Youth attacked in Narnon Court critical. Livestock census from December 13, stray animals also to be covered. CM inaugurates main events of Gita Mahotsav in Kurukshetra. Kurukshetra, December 5, amidst chanting of mantras, Chief Minister Naib Singh Saini today inaugurated the main events of the International Gita Mahotsav on the banks of Brahm Sarovar. The Chief Minister performed a yajna near Purushottam-pura Bagh. Kerala Governor Arif Mohammad Khan, Zanzibar Minister for Information, Youth, Culture and Sports, Tabia Maulid, Mavita Gita Manishi Swami Gayanand and former Minister of State Subhas Sudha also participated in the yajna. CM Sani said lakhs of devotees will be attending the Gita Mahotsav in Kurukshetra. The Mahotsav has achieved immense success and popularity over the past 8 years. Last year, approximately 45 to 50 lakh people participated and a similar turnout is expected this year. Various cultural evenings, events, Smelan and reacting of Gita slokas will be organized during the Mahotsav. The government has been making sincere efforts to spread the message of the Gita as it was relevant for the entire world, not only in India, but the Mahotsav is being celebrated in various countries. Tirthas under the 48 chaos land are being developed. Earlier, the CM, along with other dignitaries, inaugurated the Pavilion of Tanzania, the partner country for this year's International Gita Mahotsav 2024, and visited stalls showcasing the country's food, lifestyle, and attire. Youth attacked in Narnaul Court critical. Mahendragarh, December 5. Justice Manmohan sworn in as Supreme Court Judge, New Delhi, December 5. Delhi High Court Chief Justice Manmohan was on Thursday sworn in as a judge of the Supreme Court, taking its strength to 33 judges against the sanctioned strength of 34 judges, including the Chief Justice of India. CJI Sanjeev Khanna administered the oath of office to Justice Manmohan at a brief ceremony in Court Number 1 of the Supreme Court at 10:30 am. On his first day in the Supreme Court, Justice Manmohan sat with CJI Khanna and Justice Sanjay Kumar in a three-judge bench in Court Number 1. The centre had notified Justice Manmohan's appointment as a Supreme Court judge on Tuesday. Supreme Court Collegium had unanimously recommended his name on November 28. UGC is set to introduce new rules to overhaul higher education. Tribune News Service, New Delhi, December 5. The University Grants Commission has introduced a draft for new regulations aimed at overhauling undergraduate and postgraduate degree framework in India. The UGC minimum standards of instruction for the grant of undergraduate degree and postgraduate degree regulations 2024 aims to create a flexible, multidisciplinary and inclusive academic structures to transform higher education. The UGC has proposed to remove the traditional discipline specific eligibility criteria for UG and PG admissions. The draft further suggests the introduction of biannual admissions, multiple entry and exit, recognition of prior learning, and the opportunity for students to pursue two UG or PG programs simultaneously. One more, Jagdish Kumar, UGC chairperson, stated that the regulation would allow students to earn 50% of their credits in their chosen major discipline, with the rest allocated to skill development, apprenticeships, or interdisciplinary course. Additional provision include flexible degree duration and the introduction of accelerated degree program and extended degree programs for UG students. DNA of events in Ayodhya, Sambal, Bangla, same, says Yogi. Uttar Pradesh CM Yogi Adityanath today accused the opposition of trying to divide the society, saying the actions of Babur's commander in Ayodhya and Sambal around 500 years ago and ongoing events in Bangladesh share the same nature and intent. Look at the kind of acts our enemies are committing in neighboring countries. Around 500 years ago, a general of Babur committed certain deeds in Ayodhya. Similar acts were observed in Sambal and are now what is happening in Bangladesh. The nature and DNA of all three events are the same, he added. The CM, who was in the temple town for the inauguration of the 43rd Ramayana Mela, cautioned people against dismissing these issues as distant or irrelevant. Had we given importance to unity and not let the strategy of nations' enemies succeed in creating social animosity, this country would have never become a slave. Our pilgrimage would not have been this desecrated. A handful of invaders would not have dared to invade us and would be crushed by India's brave soldiers, he added. The opposition shot back at the Uttar Pradesh CM saying he was indulging in divisive politics and peddling false narratives. When asked to comment on Adityanath's remarks, Congress MP Tariq Anwar said his language did not behoove that of a chief minister. It is surprising and saddening that being a big leader of the BJP and the chief minister of a large state like Uttar Pradesh, he uses such language that is aimed at dividing people, Anwar said. Punjab government's appeal to vehicle drivers be alert and drive cautiously. Now news from the world. French PM ousted. Macron faces task of managing fractured PAL. Bangladesh removes Muslim from banknotes, bans Hasina's speech. On this day, 100 years ago, Lahore, Saturday, December 6, 1904, 1924, a class of conferences. The Punjab Provincial Conference meets today under circumstances at once the gravest and the most auspicious in its history, except for a brief period in 1918 and 1919. The relation between the two principal communities in the province have never in recent years been anything else than strained, but never since the Lucknow Pact have they been really so bad as now. One single fact will show how far the process of estrangement has gone. The Khilafat Conference, which ordinarily meets in the same city as the Congress, is in the present case being held not at Lahore, the place where the provincial conference meets, but at Amritsar, and is being held simultaneously with the latter. It was hoped at one time that by earnest representation this coalition should be averted, but the hope has been frustrated. Not only so, it is practical certainty that, with a few exceptions, no leading Mahomedan of the province will participate in the proceedings of the provincial conference, whether as an active worker or a member of the reception committee or as a delegate. The most extraordinary part of the thing is that the very men who are thus standing aloof from the provincial conference in spite of strenuous attempts to make them join it are and have always been loud in their complaint about the Congress being a Hindu organization. What else can it be so far as its personnel are concerned in it, if in spite of the Catholicity of its constitution and of its membership being equally open to all communities, none but Hindu will join it in large or even substantial numbers. Shop at any cost till you drop. Lalit Mohan, the Black Friday fever, an affliction that has its origin in the US, is catching on in India as well. Newspapers in some of the bigger cities carried large advertisements in the last week of November of special sales to mark this event in America. This is the day when shoppers to go into a discount driven frenzy to buy whatever they can lay their hands upon. We have not reached that level of hysteria yet, but we are definitely getting there. In any case, we are still in the traditional festive season when shopping acquires the aura of an essential rituals. Opinions. The importance of being Fadnavis, Maharashtra CM, is far more intelligent than Shinde and more capable of plotting political moves. Newsroom op-ed of the Tribune: politics behind redress of Waqf property laws. What Trump 2.0 means for India's economic aspirations. Sukhbir Chora sent to 3-day police custody. News from Punjab, the Tribune. Letter to VP from bodies list promises made by Center Prime Minister. Explosion at Mazita police station, just tire burst, said SSP. All eyes on Shambhu border as farmer begins march to Delhi today. Technical Education Secretary calls meet as varsity doubles exam fee. Keen to start manufacturing ops in India, Putin says. Tribune News Service, New Delhi, December 5. Russian President Vladimir Putin praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Make in India initiative and expressed Russia's readiness to establish manufacturing operations in India. Speaking at the Russia Calling Investment Forum, Putin acknowledged India's efforts to create a stable environment for economic growth. According to a statement from the Union Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Putin emphasized how these policies have significantly contributed to India's development. He highlighted the role of the Make in India initiative in boosting manufacturing and attracting foreign investment, underscoring its importance in strengthening India's position in the global economy. We are ready to set up our manufacturing operations in India. The Indian government under PM Narendra Modi's leadership has created stable conditions driven by a policy of putting India first. We believe that investing in India is profitable, Putin said as quoted in the ministry's statement. India Bhutan vote to expand cooperation in space trade. Tribune News Service, New Delhi, December 5. India and Bhutan on Thursday vowed to further expand their exemplary partnership across all sectors, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi conveying to Bhutanese King Jigme Namgyel Wangchuk, New Delhi's strong commitment to the economic development of the Himalayan nation. Shortly after Wangchuk arrived here on 2-day trip, he and Modi held talks focusing on boosting cooperation in diverse areas including hydropower, connectivity, trade and investment, and space and technology. Rare relics of Sikh gurus on display. Bhai Veer Singh birth anniversary. Shira Mehra, Tribune News Service, New Delhi. The Sikh Guru Ramdas used the demarcate the holy pond at Harmandir Sahib. The shield Guru Tegh Bahadur used in the Battle of Kartarpur and the Rabab Guru Arjan Dev played while reciting Guru Bani Kirtan, and among the rare relics of Sikh Gurus on display in the capital as part of scholar poet Bhai Singh's 152nd birth anniversary celebrations. The relics under the care of a family from Punjab, Bhai Rupa Singh, arrived in New Delhi on Wednesday. They were on display at Bhai Veer Singh Sahitya Sadan today and will be part of the Nagar Kirtan. Delhi Sikh Gurudwara Management Committee will be organizing on Friday to mark the martyrdom day of Guru Tegh Bahadur, the ninth Sikh Guru. Bhai Butta Singh the 13th, descendant of Bhai Roop Chand, after whom the Punjab village is named, who was bestowed the relics by the Gurus, said, "I was Guru Hargobind, the sixth Guru, who during his travels to Malwa in Punjab and met Bhai Roop Chand's family and blessed them with these precious relics. The family has preserved these for generations. Bhai Butta Singh is the only family in Malwa to house the relics of the Sikh Gurus." Southern Director Mohinder Singh said the relics include the stick of Guru Ramdas, Rabab played by Guru Arjan Dev, a golden tip arrow of Guru Hargobind, a shield Guru Tegh Bahadur used in the Battle of Kartarpur, wooden sandals of Guru Tegh Bahadur's wife Mata Gujri, and a dagger of Guru Gobind Singh. All relics were on display at the lodge of the Southern today. The former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's wife Guru Sharan Kaur and Commission of India Chairperson Ravi Kaur as visitors. Thank you all of you for listening to Tribune News.